Speaking of courage, you've also mentioned, like, we have to be our own lion and step away from the sheep and the herd, right? And I think I want to start wrapping up the podcast here, but, just for a person who, and for myself as well, it's sometimes very difficult to lead a life that is outside of the norm and outside the status quo. And, to be honest, I'm very psychologically minded, and I deeply understand and feel, and I empathize completely. And I've been there 100% where, you do things, like to that, maybe like the drinking of the alcohol, of going out and partying because it's unhealthy for you, or maybe your soul and your heart's telling you like, hey man, this is not a good thing for you. This is a habit. Your health is deteriorating. You're getting fat, blah, blah, blah. But you do it because it brings a higher need into your life, which is sociability, and that's one thing I really struggled with, was being able to leave that comfort of community and love for a greater mission, right? So how can, you said you yourself that you struggled with, a little bit of that, like that loneliness and being, kind of like a outsider. How can a person who, maybe isn't leading the life they want to lead, but is afraid to leave the masses or the herd or the matrix or whatever we want to call it. We have 1,000 names for it now, which is beautiful. But how could they start to lead a life that is more true to their values and true to their hearts, while they kind of still feel like they need it, or they emotionally have a connection with, people?
Yeah, it all starts, like, there's something called the hero's journey, which I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with now. But it's this like mythological journey that we all are supposed to take in our lives. We're supposed to be the hero in our own lives. And it also starts with your vision. What is that vision for yourself? And like, my vision for myself is to be this freaking like superhero, badass athlete, like doing these cool things, like fucking like super strong, surfing in cold water and board shorts, like all alone, lifting big ass stones, climbing trees. But then also, in part of that vision is like how I'm serving other people. It's like, I want to be that superhero, not just for my own ego, but because I love everyone, because I want to, impress those kids, impress those people, impress those normal people that are stuck in fear, and be like, no, you can do this too. So my whole vision for myself is actually to come full circle and create this man I want to be, to serve the community and like to help the community, to help even the friends. So it's like, it's almost like selfish, even though you can put it like, no, like, I don't want to leave my friends. Like these guys a lot of our friends are like great people. They're beautiful people, but they have bad habits. But the thing is, sometimes they don't want to elevate with you. Sometimes you're just like, yeah, guys, like, I don't really like, I'm not into drinking anymore. I'm not really into eating In-N-Out Burger. I'm not into playing video games anymore. But I still love you guys. Do you guys want to work out together? Do you guys want? And oftentimes they won't want to like change their habits. They're too comfortable in their ways. So then you have this choice of either, do you want to stick with the familiar and stick with that and not create that social tension, or do you do what's right in your heart? And the right thing is to like elevate on your journey, because, and remember, you're not elevating to show that you're better than them. You're elevating to bring people up. You're going to start raising everyone else. Because if no one makes it, you got to be strong enough to do it. It's fucking tough. Like, it is, a lot of people suffer from loneliness. A lot of men suffer from loneliness. And like, especially when you first like start breaking away, you're just like, no, I'm not drinking anymore. Not doing that. When I first started doing that, no drinking. I'm not eating commercial food. I only eat organic food. I'm not drinking. Boom. There goes like everything I do with my friends. I can't go out. I can't do any of this stuff. But my vision and my core values were so strong that I did it. And then you do face this period of loneliness. You do face this period where it's like, okay, now you're vibrating at a higher level. So you're not vibrating with the friends you used to vibrate with. and you're kind of in this limbo zone where there's like no one. You're just but yourself. But people, you need that along the journey. You need that isolation time. That's part of the journey. That's when you really get to go inside, go be with those deeper subconscious thoughts and emotions and put more work into yourself. But then the cool thing is, if you're courageous enough to make that jump and you can withstand the period of isolation, however long it may be, you got to withstand it. You got to have that strength and just know there's light on the other side. And the light on the other side is then you start vibrating so high that you start magnetizing the right people in your life. Like, I went through this period of isolation and it was brutal, the dark night of the soul. But for me having the strength to do that, I started bringing the coolest people in my life. That like these guys wanted to go like lift stones with me and work out and like go find the organic restaurant. So like it totally brought the right people in. So you gotta make that choice. You know, you gotta have the strength to do it. And a little bit of isolation is good. Just don't get so attached to it and just work on yourself, and you will like vibrate those people in. You will magnetize them if you're making the right choices.
Beautiful, man. Beautifully said. I